What's up guys, my name is Ace, and with the launch of Season 1 for Modern Warfare 3, we got a brand new aftermarket part for the Rival-9 SMG, and this is the Jak Headhunter Carbine Conversion Kit. Now in order to unlock this, you just have to go to your weekly challenges for Week 1 of Season 1, and once you complete 5 of those between multiplayer and zombies, you can combine those together, you will unlock the kit. And today we're going to have kind of like a mini gun guide looking at this because this completely changes the gun. This behaves nothing like the base Rival-9. This is effectively a new gun in the game. And another thing to point out is this is basically an assault rifle. This is much more like an assault rifle than an SMG, so I am going to be looking at it through that lens. And let's just dive right into it with our damage profile because it completely changes the amount of damage that we deal compared to the base Rival-9. With this, it's going to be a 5 to 6 shot kill, and we have a 5-shot kill potential to the torso in the first 2 damage ranges, whereas in the maximum damage range, it's a guaranteed 5-shot kill. It is also worth noting, I don't think I mentioned here, this is a 3-round burst. And then when it comes to our headshot damage, unfortunately, headshots really aren't very useful for you. Up close and personal, you have to land 3 of your shots to the head, and then the 4th one can hit anywhere else, and that will give you a 4-shot kill, but that's not really worth it because it's still going to be a 2-burst kill at that point. So you're better off just aiming for the torso with this. But then let's get into our rate of fire, keeping in mind these are hand-tested, and getting hand-tested values for burst guns is a little tricky, so there is a little bit of room for error on this, but it does line up perfectly with the time to kill values that I have hand-tested, and therefore I am fairly confident that these are at least really close to the exact values. But with this, our rate of fire within each burst is roughly 857 rounds per minute, and then we've got a roughly 70 millisecond burst delay, which isn't a very long burst delay at all. And another key thing to point out is unlike the other burst guns in this game, it will continually burst if you just hold down the trigger, and that's without having to turn on that accessibility setting, which allows you to hold to fire, but then it completely destroys your semi-auto fire rate, so you generally don't want to have that setting on. So that is a nice upside using this compared to other burst guns in the game. Now, when it comes to our time to kill potential with the Headhunter Carbine Kit, this is unfortunately not very good at all. With a 5-shot kill, it's going to take us 360 milliseconds to kill, and that is quite a slow time to kill in this game. For Modern Warfare 3 SMGs up close, the average is 286 milliseconds, and for assault rifles, it's a little bit over 300 milliseconds. So even for assault rifles, this is a slow time to kill up close. And like I said, while you can technically reduce the number of shots to kill down to 4 with 3 headshots mixed in with body shots, that will give us a time to kill potential of 290 milliseconds. But like I said, that's just not really a practical method of using this gun just because it requires so many shots to hit the head. Now, even though this time to kill potential is quite slow and it definitely holds this back, I don't want you to write this off completely. Let's move into our range values, and as we can see here, compared to the base Rival-9, we get a significantly better 5-shot kill range. It's now roughly 33 meters for a 5-shot kill potential, and that's where this gun really shines. It's more in those mid-range engagements, not in the super close quarter situations where every SMG is going to completely dominate this gun. Additionally, a really nice added benefit here is this significantly boosts our bullet velocity up to 900 meters per second. So at least within the 6v6 multiplayer maps, this is generally just going to feel like a hit scan gun. And on top of that, this is significantly more accurate than the base version of the Rival-9. It obviously has a completely different recoil pattern, and as you can see, it kicks basically upward with a little bit of a lean to the right in a reasonably straight line. Unfortunately, with the first burst, there is a fair amount of recoil, but every burst after that is actually nice and tight and just follows that straight line. And this is definitely something you can correct for, at least to some degree, with attachments. Now, aside from all of that, this will slow down our handling and mobility stats a little bit when using this kit because it is designed to be much more like an SMG assault rifle hybrid. But in saying that, our handling and mobility stats are still going to be noticeably better than most of the assault rifles out there. And this is where I wanted to share my Rival-9 Headhunter setup, just for anybody that may be interested in trying out this conversion kit and you want to set yourself up for success. With this particular setup, we're using the Bruin Pendulum muzzle, the DR6 hand stop, the MTZ Marauder stock, and the Mark III reflector, of course combined with the conversion kit itself. And with this, we can see our recoil is improved a little bit, primarily with that initial burst. You can see those bullets are a little bit tighter together. There is still going to be a bit more recoil though with that initial burst compared to the rest of the bursts. But this is very manageable, and you can actually stretch your range out quite comfortably with this particular setup. And when it comes to the other stats, our aim down sight time is still very decent at 244 milliseconds. Again, if you're treating this like it's an assault rifle, which you should be, 244 milliseconds is just fine for an accurate assault rifle. Our sprint out time is also slightly slower than the base Rival-9, but still significantly faster than any assault rifle you find out there. And then, of course, we get that amazing boost to our damage range as well as our bullet velocity. And this does make for a very accurate, easy to control gun that you can use very comfortably at mid to somewhat longer ranges. And with that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the breakdown and the class setup for the Jak Headhunter Carbine Conversion Kit. Now I just wanted to share my thoughts on this. Initially, when I saw that time to kill value with this at 360 milliseconds, I really wanted to just write this off entirely and say that it's useless. There's no point in using that. It's just going to get outgunned by everything. And while that is true if you end up in one of those highly competitive lobbies against people using meta guns, once I actually gave this setup a shot, I found it was actually very usable. As long as you treat it right and you try to keep your gunfights at that like medium to medium long range, this gun actually excels and you're going to be outgunning a lot of the other guns in the game simply because you're not going to be missing the shots that many of those other people will be missing due to the recoil of their gun. It may have a slower theoretical time to kill, but in practice, I found myself killing quite effectively in those ranges. Now, obviously, if you find yourself right up close and personal against a half-decent player using an SMG or even many of the assault rifles in the game, sure, you're going to get outgunned. You just don't have the time to kill potential to compete there. But if you treat it right, it's actually a very usable gun, and I would recommend at least giving it a shot and seeing what you think about it. Now, is it a top tier gun? No, absolutely not. I would in no way claim that this is going to be like a new meta weapon or anything like that. I just wanted to point out that if you set it up right and you use it right, you can absolutely find some success with the Headhunter Carbine Conversion Kit. Now, of course, these are just my thoughts on this kit, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about it in those comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the stats don't really do this gun justice and it actually feels better than it looks on paper? Or do you think it is just not so great? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.